Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review Fall Out Boy's 2015 album American Beauty / American Psycho. It's pretty great overall. This is the track listing, and these are the tracks added to my playlist, 8 out of 11, so most of them here. This album is definitely pretty good, although it isn't perfect. Most of the songs are good, but there are only really one or two that are outstanding. The flow is alright, but it takes a bit for the album to really feel like it gets getting going. Tracks like Centuries and Uma Thurman are really great, but they're kind of too heavy hitting to sort of start up the album. They really need a super quick but still kind of light one to start, which Irresistible kind of isn't, although it's still a decent opener. By the back half, though, things are going pretty well. Novocaine is a pretty good fast song that transitions into a couple of pretty good tracks, and Twin Skeletons is a pretty decent ending. More pop than rock, but slower than most of the songs here, so not a bad one to end on. The genre here is still pretty much even more pop than rock. Big hits are still recognizably rock, but they're not out of place at all on the pop radio, and the other songs on the album follow in the style. There's kind of a lack of variety issue here. Although most of the songs are still good enough that it doesn't really matter, a lot of the tracks here do sound similar to other songs. So this is kind of a good but not super unique album. Still a pretty great album, some really good tracks, but there are definitely spots where it could improve. This is still worth listening to, even though it's not super interesting. There were 4 singles released before the album: Centuries, Immortals, the title track American Beauty, American Psycho, and Uma Thurman. Centuries and Uma Thurman were really big hits for them, probably 2 of their biggest songs. They definitely help the album a lot, although they don't contribute to the flow in a great way. They're definitely both singles more than album tracks. They don't really work great on the album. My favorite song here is probably 4th of July. It's pretty poppy, but still quick and kind of fun. Novocaine was also good, and that one's more rock oriented, although nothing here really stood out as incredibly unique in style, except maybe Centuries. I rank this album 3rd out of the 6 Fall Out Boy albums I've heard so far. It's definitely still superior to their first 2 albums and Fully Due. American Beauty is also definitely not quite as good as their previous album, Save Rock and Roll. That one's definitely better. It's really close in quality to Infinity on High, but I think Infinity just flows a bit better. American Beauty might have slightly better big hits, but the overall album quality is basically the same between the two, and Infinity on High definitely ends up flowing a lot better, and is slightly more variety in sound, I think. Additionally, this album doesn't take my top spot from 2015. It stays with Imagine Dragons' Smoke and Mirrors, which I like and definitely prefer to Fall Out Boy, although I must admit the quality is pretty similar between the 2 albums. They're both pretty great, but not perfect. So this was a close one, but Imagine Dragons keeps it here. Thank you for watching. Next up is Sting's 2006 album, Songs from the Labyrinth. It's not very good, but it is a bit interesting, and while I don't recommend it, I do review and listen to all of the things from the artist, so I will still be reviewing it. So stay tuned for that, and as always, stay minty.